Incremental readings. So now there's one advantage, not of incremental reading, but of SuperMemo. SuperMemo as all SuperMemo as an all-encompassing media archive. Because SuperMemo is a tool for learning, it's meant for learning, but you can use the features and the incrementalism features for something unrelated to learning, by the way. Let's dig into that. As an all-encompassing media archive, you have all-in-one. So let's go. You can transform your archive because SuperMemo can house more than just text. Actually, whatever. Not just sound, so you can have pictures, photos, audio files, music, podcast, recordings, and so on, and scanned documents or whatever. It can be exactly anything. PDF files, PowerPoints, you name it. It will be on the binary component, but it's in your collection. It can also be just linked, so the document is on whatever place in your computer, or goes to your Elements folder, becomes part of your collection. So a central archive turns dusty memorabilia into living memories. The idea is that, hey, imagine everything, every file you have downloaded, every file you have created and edited, it's there. And you could search through that history. So everything will be on the same place. That's the idea of all-in-one archive. Then in SuperMemo, that's atrocious because it's very rudimentary. So it's not a good place to have this flow. To catalog images because many image files are not supported, especially the modern. Same for video, same for sounds. So it's not the best experience. But the idea is that it's possible to do. You can do incremental processing of media. Like, hey, I have a ton of images from the travel I did and all of that on family gatherings. Let me catalog this. Let me tag and classify the photos for albums. I can do this incrementally with SuperMemo. You can annotate photos, the captions, gradually fill the gaps in the knowledge about people that, oh, who is that person? Oh, it's a very long family member that I have only seen twice in my life, stuff like that. This systematic approach enriches both your archive and your memory. That's a different thing, because usually when you use SuperMemo for incremental reading, it's about your memory, it's about your brain. You don't care what's in your collection, because it's a learning app. But that's a different flow, and that's why it's not incremental reading. It's SuperMemo. Actually speaking, it's SuperMemo. Then, you can annotate all photographs in small intervals, incrementally. Compare photos that, oh, this guy, how it aged, it gained weight, it lost weight, whatever. And this, as a consequence, it will make everything vivid. It's like not that, oh yeah, I see the photos, kind of forgot about that. Now that I see it, I do remember. But I was not able to recall that with free recall. So as a consequence, you have most of those events very easy to recall, easy to retrieve. You are more aware of that. Every phase tells a story, and incremental visits and incremental revisits keeps those stories alive. Absolutely. What about for video? What about for audio or music? You can have a collection type of jukebox. It's not a mode, no worries. It's just qualitatively, you use SuperMemo just to schedule tracks, soundtracks, and replay them based on the importance or your enjoyment. So imagine having a jukebox that is based on SuperMemo priorities. So the next track that it will be played, when you play next, you schedule when that will be, and if you have an overflow, it will go by priorities. So avoid boredom by letting forgetting kindle the joy of discovery. Music heard at the right interval revives nostalgia and wonder. Sometimes this happened by pure serendipity, that a car was playing that music, and it's a music that perhaps the track is 15 years old, is not that mainstream. It's really hard to find people listening to that music. So it's unlikely this event to happen. But you can do this on purpose, systematically, with SuperMemo. Then, why incremental media beats simple sorting? Ordinary media plays ordinary media players let you sort by file name, date, artist, or some metadata, and that's it. With incremental scheduling, you can target the sweet spot for your review. That will be your own priority. How you set the priorities. Often enough to stay fresh, and not so often it becomes stale. Forgetting is part of the magic. Revisiting at just the right time restores the delight. So the difference is that you don't revisit this just before you are about to forget, because you want to keep this into long-term memory. You do it in the right time that, oh, now I can experience again the nostalgia. I have some music like this, it's not the point of this video, but in short, I have a folder with music that there are tracks that are triggering. They're triggering something good or something bad, something that I have attached. A part in my life, when I was heartbroken, whatever, that hey, this music is triggering those memories, or those memories were playing that song at that time. So there's that actual relationship physically, not attributed. There are some kind of things. There's a song that the more you hear it, the stronger the effect it gets. And there's another one that it's losing its effect. The more you play it, the weaker it becomes. When it's attributed, this attribution becomes weaker and weaker and weaker. Or the capacity to trigger that state of mind, it becomes harder. So what you could do instead, especially for those cases, it's using SuperMemo. I want to schedule the repetitions to maximize this experience, and since I know that each repetition will become weaker, the effect I want becomes weaker, I minimize that. I don't waste some repetitions. That I will weaken the effect at not much benefit. So more or less, this is how it goes. And then, benefits of incremental archiving. Consolidates all media in one place. Exactly. And this is because you will use a dedicated collection. So jukebox, all of the sound files and music I have in one single collection. So you can also search, prioritize, all of that. Then, this ensures nothing gets forgotten or neglected. Exactly. If you have multiple collections, through this, sooner or later you will neglect one of the collections, or more. Revisits happen just in time, boosting the enjoyment and the retention. So it's when you have forgotten again, even if you had a reminder of your wedding or something, if you were not old enough for this, something in the childhood, yeah, I know that, I have revisited that, but again, I'm losing details. I'm forgetting the details. So when I have forgotten enough, not completely, just enough, I can revisit that memory again and to have this boost that, oh, I didn't remember this, you have this positive effect of nostalgia. You review that too soon, you will lose that effect because you still remember those details. And the details you forget could be different each time. This is just one of the examples. And it could be meta because it could be writing, drawings you have done years ago, or writings you have done years ago, or even videos myself, videos I recorded many years ago. Like I think the oldest I have is about 16 years ago, and I see myself with a beard, much younger, more fit, with a different voice even. But hey, this feels something, right? I want to keep that and revisit this eventually. Or even videos I have online, it will be actually easier because they are actually online. But usually, this is meant to private stuff. Then, when everything is in one place, your memories and media thrive together. Poetically, exactly. So the conclusion is that SuperMemo unites archiving, learning, entertainment in a single incremental managed flow. Well, yes, but you will have different collections. You'll have one collection for the archiving of the personal images, all of that. You won't want to have this in the same collection of your learning. But in the perspective of flow, yes, it's on the same flow. You will just click Control O to switch collections in a split second. Engage with your photos, audio, or documents, and a schedule that optimizes both fun and long-term memory. This is what Piotr Wozniak does himself. Preserve the past, enrich the present, and enjoy rediscovery in one interval at a time. Rediscovery in the future. You already discovered that. It will be a rediscover. But fun fact is because for you it's personal, has something. It's your doctor, it's your parent, it's your significant other, whatever, depends on your age. Something will be of greater value in your life. Even if you repeat this, still has some value. You keep rediscovering, and you keep forgetting. Unless you will do spaced repetition on your own life and your images and so on, and you do spaced repetition on that, you will forget details. Even if for you it's a very precious memory, you'll remember the fact, but the details will fade away with time. That's something beautiful. You can revisit that. And I did it. Not exactly with SuperMemo like this in a very systematic way, but I have a copy in backups in Google Drive and so on, and I revisit those images that for me are key, and oh man, it's wonderful. So remember, SuperMemo as one all-encompassing media archive for your life. You can revisit anytime, and you can use incrementalism to your advantage and priorities also to your advantage. The only downside is that SuperMemo is not the best in the sense of compatibility with media files. Hope that this can be useful. Let me know if you ever do this, and see you incrementally.